All right, here we go. Aloha and welcome to episode 3 of the Kumana podcast with Elijah and Qadry. And here we are in Columbus, Ohio, and it is late. I think it's like 11 something. What time is it?
Midnight.
Midnight.
It's late, but we are committed to recording something every day, not just at the games, but there are so many stories to be told at Kumana CrossFit, in the gym, with our members. There are so many amazing stories to be told. We're also going to cover a lot of the Transform season, which, by the way, for those of you guys that are listening that are at Kumana, the Transform party is September 20th, and we will be voting for the Transform champ. So this is like season 36 as well. So yeah, we're gonna record every day. We're gonna produce something every day to talk about all the stories and to bring our community closer together and to give, share stories. Ultimately, share stories. Now more than ever, man, we need real human connection because everybody's doom scrolling on their phones. So now more than ever, that's what we need is community. That's what the gym is for. A lot of our members at the gym, they spend all day long talking to people on screens, and then when they come to the gym is the first interaction, the first physical human interaction of the day. So anyway, that's why we're doing this. It is late, but I think Kaeo woke up Qadry.
Yeah, he was already asleep. And we're like, we still got.
I was actually in bed as well, just because I went to bed with Rose, but I wasn't sleeping because I knew we had to try and record something. Anyway, we're gonna recap. So, Kūlani has done 4 events. So we covered the run yesterday and the max clean and jerk. So, I think the run was great. 23rd. And that was a big relief that he just did better. And then of course all the hype with Kūlani winning the clean and jerk event with a clean of 335, and even the CrossFit Games posted an amazing video on their amazing reel on their Instagram. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And today took a bit of a turn. These guys know better than me. I'll share my opinion, but these guys know better than me. So let's talk about event 3. Event 3 was an 18-minute AMRAP with a bunch of kettlebells and rowing. Go ahead, gentlemen.
Yeah, so event 3 was an 18-minute AMRAP of 60 calorie row, 50 double kettlebell hang clean,
and then
40 toast bar, 30 double kettlebell thrusters, and 20 single kettlebell pistols or alternating single leg squats.
Right.
So what was unique about this test?
All the different kettlebell
kettlebell
movements, especially the kettlebell pistol. I thought that was a really good. I thought this workout was actually a really good test. This was the kettlebell movements, the double kettlebell movements, and the kettlebell pistol are all good movements that were programmed. That were, I don't think anybody was anticipating it.
Yeah.
So I sure wasn't.
I mean, we're so used to dumbbells all the time.
Yeah, we always get dumbbells.
Everybody prepares dumbbells, so just to throw that different implement was a good test, I think. Felt a little hodgepodgey, but at the end of the day,
it kind of was. That was the only part about that event that I didn't like about it, was that the formatting of it is kind of uncreative. It's just a chipper.
It was boring.
It was a boring chipper with 60, 50, 40, 30, 20.
But the moves themselves were great.
The actual movements that were programmed are amazing. Just the formatting of it could have been executed better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we want to go into the judging side of it, but
because
the standard that they had was
elbow,
great.
Elbows under the kettlebell.
They just didn't uphold that standard to it.
Yeah, but
great job.
with every time there's a new movement or a new implement, there's always going to be some kind of judging discrepancy. Luckily, in Kūlani's division, there wasn't much of that.
16, 17 boys, they all moved great.
From what I saw, they all
there was a couple who I saw had unextended hips. But none that they weren't doing.
Everybody was getting their elbows all over.
Yeah, they were all of that. It was the masters that were kind of screwing that up.
Right.
But,
yeah.
That event was fine.
Yep. And then Kūlani.
In terms of Kūlani.
Kūlani, for those movements for him, pistols are a struggle for him historically. But because they were weighted pistols, that actually made it hard for everybody. Mm-hmm. So that actually played a little bit into his favor, making it an even playing field. The other movements is what got him. Actually, I was expecting the pistols to give him trouble. What actually gave him trouble was the hang cleans.
It was the
Hang cleans and just the grip in general. Because you go rower, you go toes to bar, you go hang cleans, right?
Yeah.
So it was, by the end of the workout, he was saying that his forearms were burnt out.
Yeah. So that
he
I
was
think.
barely able to hold on to his kettlebells. It was a real gritty fight towards the end of that last minute and a half.
He was pushing sets of 2 and 3.
Yeah, it was getting
And he's
real
like,
gritty.
He's like, he didn't want to put him down. You could see it on his face. He didn't want to put him down, but his body was telling him he had to.
Yeah,
right?
like he just couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah.
So he ended up taking 10th in that workout. It's not bad. I mean, as long as we're finishing close to the people we need to beat, that's important. So 10th in that workout's not bad.
So Kūlani came into the day in 6th place.
Right.
After event 3, he was still in 6th place.
Right. Now,
and then
going into event 4.
which was
Yeah, I wanted to say something too though. When we say the kettlebell workout, it was good. It was 18 minutes, and then I just want to clarify for anybody listening is when I say boring, CrossFit in general is not a very spectator-friendly sport.
Yeah, you gotta be in the
It's
know to know.
Yeah, it's not a very spectator-friendly sport to begin with. So it was an 18-minute AMRAP of rower into kettlebell, double kettlebell clean and jerk into thrusters, right?
Yep.
Double kettlebell thrusters into
it
pistol.
it was clean,
Yeah.
toes to bar, thrust.
Yeah, that's right.
Pistol.
And I'm just saying it was boring because
Spectator-wise,
it's just
yeah.
spectator-wise, just because I mean it's
The first
it's-
2.5 minutes they're sitting on this machine.
right, but
right?
the
And-
thing is you can't really tell who's in the lead, right?
Right.
And I just say boring because a better way, in my opinion, to have set this up would just have been chipper style, where you got X amount of calories in a rower and then done, and then X amount of calories on the clean and then done.
It
and
could have
then,
been for time.
yeah, and for time.
Or
And-
same workout, shorter time cap, so that like
You know,
people are like not even making it
Right,
back to
so-
the rower.
Right. So it
this
looks,
could have been a 12-minute
yeah.
workout.
This could have been. a
So
12-minute
it could look,
workout,
yeah. Therefore, it would look like a rounds for time.
But they needed a
look-
longer marathon.
But anyway, that's just so anybody listening. It wasn't boring watching Kūlani. It wasn't boring watching
it's
them.
never boring
It's never
watching
boring watching them. But like, I'm just saying the format.
Yeah.
The AMRAP format was boring. But
Elijah and I use we think it's like lazy.
Yeah, you call it a hodgepodge
Right.
a workout where it's like they kind of just throw a bunch of movements in there and then put a cap on it or
Right.
put an AMRAP on it. Because then you don't gotta think about okay how long is one round gonna take. You don't gotta think about that. It's just
Right.
put these movements, this number, for this long, and then done. That's
Yeah.
why it's kind of lazy, kind of uncreative is what I would say. I wouldn't say it's boring because when they're actually going, it was pretty.
Yeah.
It was hyped, but the actual formatting of the workout was just uncreative in my opinion.
Yeah.
But the movements were good. Like, yeah, gotta give credit where credit is due. The movements that they picked were
Right.
good.
They had a good standard too. It's just the judging wasn't where it needed to be for the Masters.
Yeah. In terms of like the actual like programming side of it, it was good. Good. It had its flaws, but it was still good in general. And then Kūlani didn't play it well. It was
Yeah, Kūlani did.
so Kūlani got a 23rd on the run, a first on the clean and jerk,
a 10th
and then a
on
10th,
3.
the 10th on the kettlebell AMRAP.
Right.
So which kept him at 6.
Sixth
So
place.
he came in at the day 6, and then came out of that workout 6 still.
Yep. So
Um,
so after 3 events,
He stayed at
still
6.
sixth. And so,
So-
now going into event 4.
So go ahead, event 4.
Event 4 was 4 time, 30 GHD sit-ups, 16 burpees facing their sandbag, so
And
they have to
jumping over
jump
it.
over, and then a 150-foot carry with that sandbag, 150 pounds for Kūlani's division. Then they had 20 GHD sit-ups, still 16 burpees, and then a 90-foot carry with the bag. And then the last round was 10 GHD sit-ups, still 16 burpees, and then 30 feet to the finish line. Basically, they carry the bag to the finish line.
Yeah,
That was their
150-pound bag, descending rep scheme, and Elijah, you made a really good point on the drive home today that that essentially it was a race. It was a GHD sit-up race.
Yeah, so this is I didn't think that initially. So at first I was thinking, okay, Kūlani's gotta go fast on the burpees. He's just gotta do his thing on the GHD and then fast on the sandbags. But as I started watching the heats go before him, I started noticing everybody burpees at the same pace roughly. Maybe some people are faster there, here and there. Everybody carries a sandbag roughly at the same pace. But the guy who came off of the GHD first of every heat that I watched before almost ended up winning the entire thing. And they either won it or they were second or third. And it was the person off of the first round of the GHDs. The biggest predictor for the workout, of the outcome of the workout, was whoever got off the first set of GHDs, which in my opinion isn't a good thing.
Did you, after observing that?
And actually, Dave was the first person. So shout out to Dave. Dave caught that before I did. He was like, Elijah, every heat I watched the past 5 heats, the person who came off of the first GHD of the first round won the entire thing, almost every single heat.
You know, actually, I would even pause right now. You know, a lot of people wonder. You know, we've been with Dave for 6 years, since Memorial Day weekend of 2019. So we've been with Dave Tillman and Mad Athletes for 6 years, and then every now and then people will say, oh, you guys are still with Dave, you know, and absolutely, the answer is always yes, absolutely, and of all the things, Dave's greatest strength,
game day.
Yeah. Dave's greatest strength is what he sees on game day.
Because he caught that before I did, and I was like, really? And then I started watching the heats, I was like, yeah, you're right.
Anybody can program, anybody can, you know, Dave's got great programming and super strong is awesome, but big shout out to Coach Dave because what he does on game day, during events, during the CrossFit Games, during competition, is hands down the greatest value that he brings to the table, you know. So that's cool that Dave saw that. Did you kind of let Kūlani know?
Yeah, I was telling him, I was like, but there's only so much you can do. I mean, I can't change his GHD speed or capacity
right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
The only thing I told him was like, hey, you have to position yourself in a way that you're ahead on that first round, so that way you stay ahead, because this workout's so fast that once you start to fall behind, you kind of saw that a little bit with Kūlani. Like once you start to fall behind, start looking around, and then, you know, mentally
there's not enough time to make up ground. Right?
There's not enough time to make up ground.
The next round is shorter. The next round is even shorter.
Yeah. Right.
And then for you guys listening,
mentally, he just, you know, if you start to fall behind progressively over the course of a workout, you start to, you know, spiral mentally. So that's kind of I would say that happened a little bit on that workout. For sure.
And for you guys listening, what I'll do is I will check I'll check the link to the YouTube live stream. Have you guys heard anything about the live stream?
It's on Pit Media.
Okay, so
Pit Media.
Has it been good?
It's been pretty solid.
Okay.
I think I know the lift was good.
Okay.
I don't know about the run.
I'll see. Okay, so I'll post.
Don't have a phone.
I'll post a link to. I'll post a link, that way you guys can at least scroll back, you know, go back and see the event. You know, this one was a GHD and burpee over sandbag and then sandbag carry, and everything was indoors. Everything's indoors, by the way. So, yeah. And then Elijah doesn't have a phone. What happened? Your phone died.
So my phone died 2 days ago, and then just couldn't turn back on.
What's life like without a phone?
It's pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, it's not. It's terrifying. Come on.
The only
you're
thing
itching. You're itching.
Oh yeah. The only thing I really don't like is that I can't communicate with everybody.
I was gonna say
But it's actually, I'm not gonna lie, it's been pretty good without all the doom scrolling. I feel like my brain.
Yeah, but I can't call you when you're in the warm up area.
Yeah, so that sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kūlani finished 14th.
14th, and where did that put him after that event? Still sixth.
Still sixth. So that's the funniest thing. So he came in at the end of day 1, 6th, and then he finished up event 3.
Still sixth.
Still 6th.
And
then event 4 still in 6th place.
He's a little further out from first though.
Points wise, he's a little bit. The gap is.
He's about 60 points away from first place.
Yeah, 60.
Which is
that's doable to make up
with half of competition.
Yes.
Right. 60 points is not that much.
Yeah, each event win is worth 100 points. So just for you guys listening,
what's the point gap between each finish? So
4.
So
yeah, there's 30 people.
I don't know.
Basically
I'm so
100.
used to the 40 person field.
Right.
I don't really. know
Yeah.
how they
So
adjusted
first
it
place is
differently.
100 points, and then it trickles down to 30th place. So 30th place ends up with like 4 points or something like that. So and then the leaderboard. So Kūlani did as well as he could do.
Yeah.
Did you guys expect him to do better?
Yeah, I did. I didn't anticipate the GHDs being such a big factor in that workout. But once I started watching the heat skills, like they're spending majority of the time on the GHD. The burpees go by quick.
Right.
The sandbag goes
Sandbag
by
goes by really quick.
the sandbag goes by in like 10 seconds.
Yeah,
Like, the
sandbag was not a
barely.
factor.
That's
That's not a sandbag workout.
right. So that's my biggest issue with the workout is that when it's so overly like when it's
It's lopsided.
When you've got
The test is lopsided.
3 moves or 3 modalities,
And
one
one
of
of
them is the biggest factor abundantly,
I would say like 95% of that workout was GHD.
I would agree.
And that basically makes it a single modality workout and
With 2 distractions.
with
Yeah.
2 distractions. And
Right.
me and Qadry have our opinions on single modality.
Single modality
events.
tests at the games.
So you can have single modality tests at the games when you have more than 10 events. When there's an 8 event games with limited amounts of scoring.
Right. So if you're looking at this year's events, right? First day was only single modality.
Right.
Run on workout 1, monostructural, weightlifting, lift heavy on
Right.
the workout 2. So that gives you 6 CrossFit workouts, and already one of them is heavily anterior chain
Right.
gymnastics.
Single modality. Right, exactly.
Right. I mean, it wasn't. That's just room for them to improve on their programming. That's all it is.
And also, just for people watching, single modality means so there's 3 modalities in CrossFit. There's weightlifting, there's monostructural, and there's gymnastics.
Right. So
And when one single event only focuses on or only tests one of those things, it's usually if there's a limited number of total events, it skews the results.
Right.
What does monostructural mean?
monostructural is anything that involves cyclical movement and repetitive movement typically.
Like
Monostructural moves are going to be your running, rowing, biking, skiing, jump rope, swimming, any of those. Common misconceptions about monostructural is that burpees and box
Burpees and
jumps,
monostructural, yeah.
those are gymnastic moves technically. CrossFit Games likes to program them with the concept or intention of monostructural, but they are gymnastic movements.
Right.
Okay, so the GHD. What happened was the GHD sit up. The person that had the best GHD and the fastest GHD
Right.
sit-ups, they did best. And I also made a comment to Elijah today too, and I said that. So therefore, I mean, another thing there is that the guys with the shortest torso. You know, if you come in with a strong core and a short torso, you'll
Lincoln
have.
Lefevre.
Yeah.
Lincoln
Shout-
Lefevre
shout
has
out-
a tiny
Shout
torso,
shout
yeah.
out Lincoln Lefevre.
Yeah.
He
He
won
was
that
like-
event, I believe, right?
I think it was
First
second.
or second.
So,
Did-
okay.
Second.
point is, did really good. Short torso.
Right. So Lincoln and now, you know, for you guys listening, what we will do now is we got to start. We'll start talking about the competition as well. And so Lincoln jumped from like 12th to 3rd.
To third in 2 events.
So yeah, Lincoln jumped from 12th to 3rd. And Lincoln Lefevre, is that his name? Lincoln Lefevre.
Lincoln Lefevre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Lincoln Lefevre, shout out to him. You know, he's a
Yeah.
great athlete, and he's been head to head with Kūlani for the last 4 years, basically, right? Last
So,
4
three,
he-
4
Yeah,
years.
he
took
popped
the
up.
last year off.
Yeah, he popped up into the scene. But yeah, we know him from competition.
Right.
But okay, so Kūlani is still in 6th. He finished that GHD sit-up workout 14th, not as well as we hoped or thought he would do. And then, but there is a weird mix-up on the leaderboard. What did you guys notice? Anything?
So
yeah, what did you guys?
the
I noticed a
biggest
few
thing that
things.
we
What did you guys
noticed
notice?
with the leaderboard right now is the people that we thought were going to be up higher are not, and the people who we don't even know are at the top actually.
Yeah.
So there's
So-
Lincoln Lefevre, there's Dennis,
Olsen, I think is how you say his
and
name,
then
and then
Oliver.
Olivier or whatever his
Well,
hands. I don't know his
Yeah.
last name.
Okay.
Yeah,
So what are you
so-
noticing about?
So there's some names that we haven't seen before that are at the top. So so we'll see what happens. But yeah.
Okay, so this is what I'm noticing about the leaderboard. Is the leaderboard is being scrambled much more than I'm used to seeing in the teen division, and that's a lot about. We talked about it last night. Is that you had the regulars like RJ Mystery going head to head with Kaeo all the time. So Kaeo and RJ were always, and a few others.
I think,
You know, Dustin, Beckwith, and Ben and Elijah had you, Caleb, McClure, Roke but there's always those same gang that kind of floats to the top.
Right.
And then what I'm seeing now is I'm seeing all the so after 3 events and a okay mix. After 4 events and a okay mix, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing the fastest runners. I'm seeing the fastest runners start to drop. Right. I'm seeing the fastest runners start to drop. And then I'm seeing the mid-range runners, but we're strong. They're rising up, and then ultimately,
that's CrossFit.
yeah, and then ultimately at the end of the day, the guys that are getting 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. It's a game of consistency, right? So the guys who are getting nothing, glamorous. Like Nate Ackerman in your year, Elijah, in 2021. Nate Ackerman didn't win one event. He didn't win one event, but he never got lower than a 5th, a 7th.
He had one event 7. Every other event was 3rd or better.
Yep, exactly. So the couple of guys, Lincoln jumped up into the top 3 with this GHD workout, but the top 2 guys, they're just getting like 5, 6, and 7s.
Yeah.
So Kūlani has a 23rd and a 1 and some in between.
That first place really is
Help.
helping him. It's
That
really
first
helping him.
100 points for first place for Kūlani. That's
how about a
that's he's
couple of those again?
He's getting he's
awesome.
getting Kūlani that first place 100 points is giving him a breath of life right now. But
We gotta start making mix it around.
With 4 more events, he's got to do some damage. So let's talk about that. He's got to do some damage. And then what do we got going on tomorrow?
Damage control, do some damage. These next 4 events are the ones he's most confident for.
I'm most confident in him.
I am too. Yeah, he's told me.
Right,
to me
and
about
it's a little more classic CrossFit,
which it should be. So that goes into why I kind of don't really like this next one. So this workout is a 3-minute AMRAP. So this is event 5, 3-minute AMRAP of 3 axle bar deadlifts. So it's a fat grip barbell.
How heavy is the deadlift?
295.
295. Yeah, and then
Okay.
and then it's 80-foot sled push. 80 feet.
Yeah.
80 feet.
Okay.
And then so AMRAP that 3 minutes. Again, that workout is majority sled push. Like the deadlifts are not going to.
How heavy is a sled?
I don't know.
We don't know.
We don't. Yeah, we actually don't know the weight. They didn't tell us.
Hey, finally something unknown and unknowable.
Right.
So
We'll
40
take
feet,
it.
40 feet down and back.
Right, but it doesn't matter. It could be an empty sled, and that sled is still going to be majority of the workout. it
So
doesn't
that
matter.
I was telling Elijah that workout is who can ignore the pain in their legs for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So
And
Kūlani
it'll-
can just
And push as hard as you can for 3 minutes.
so
Yeah.
Kūlani can just not stop and not slow down, and just grit through the pain in his legs for 3 minutes. Then we got
that's done.
we
And
got a
that's
solid
done.
score.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kūlani historically is pretty good at sled pushing. So
Right. Something I want to circle back to with why we're seeing so much shift on the leaderboard is this is the second year now for the teenagers that they've had a field of 30.
yes,
And so I think what happened
There you
last year was they still had a field of 30, but it didn't
Normally, what do they have?
20 or 10, right?
Yeah,
Normally it's 10.
Actually,
It's-
normally they keep changing it.
normally it's
I
normally
would say
it's not
been-
normal. It's
I'd say it's
Normally
been
they-
10 more often than 10.
It has been so
Normally they're always changing.
right.
So
What's the years it's been? 2021, 2018, 2017, 2016. I want to say.
I don't remember. 2015 and 16, I don't even remember.
I know.
Sometimes
So I
it's-
know the first 2 Madison years it was 20, and then 2021 was 20. Everything else has been 10.
Yeah,
think
sometimes
it's
it's
been
10,
10
sometimes it's
majority.
20, now it's
Yeah,
3.
it's been more 10.
Yeah.
But so I think what happened was those athletes who are gunning for the top 10, let's say like athletes in 2023, like Kūlani, like RJ, Kaeo, Caden Stain, these athletes who competed in a field of 10, they had that time that they had to train for the games. That's them training competitively. And then they knew they had it in them to qualify again. So they had a little bit of jump on the 20 below them who didn't compete at the games, who didn't have a games training season come 2024 season. Now, after a full year, there's a lot more kids who are like, oh, top 30.
Now
I got a chance. And so they train a little harder. I think there's more kids training harder because top 30 is more accessible.
Yeah, top 10 was tight. A lot.
Right.
Top 10 was hard to make.
Top 10 was really hard to make. And I think that's why we're seeing this year so much shakeup on the leaderboard, so much fluctuation.
It's a different group of kids.
It's different, right?
Yeah.
It's way more varied.
Yeah. And we have a lot more. There's more room for specialists in the leaderboard of 30.
I feel like there weren't specialists in the teenage division before. You know, like there were some stronger guys. There was some more gymnastically inclined guys.
Last year was the first year that I ever seen specialists in the games for teenagers.
For like a super weightlifting guy. Like what was his face?
Gosh, yeah, I don't forget his name. But
whoever
put up 285 and 335 clean and jerk last year.
Right. Whatever.
Like you wouldn't have seen that in a top 10. In a top 10
right.
for games qualifying, right? But in a leaderboard of 30, now you got room for all these other athletes, right? I think you'll see.
I guess it's
faster runners
too.
Yeah.
Which is better for Kūlani who needs ground.
Right.
Right. That means that there's
separation.
There's more likely for the guys ahead of him to fumble.
Right. So the bottom line is the whole idea behind the games and the methodology is that the most well-rounded athletes win.
Right.
So, okay. So we got the axle bar deadlift and the sled. Actually, I think anybody anybody lingering in the top 10 that had a strong run and a weak clean and jerk, I think they'll be filtered out with that workout.
I agree.
So they'll be
100%.
Yeah, if you had a strong run and a weak clean and jerk, I think you'll fall out. You'll filter out to the bottom 15. Okay, and then what do we got next? We have 3 events tomorrow.
And the next event is actually
one of my favorite events they've programmed this year.
So this is an interval workout. You have 2 minutes of
16
handstand push-ups, 16 calories in the echo bike, and then the remaining time of that 2-minute window, you do double unders, and then you rest for 1 minute, and you repeat this a total of four rounds of that, or until you complete 300 total double unders.
So an example.
Double unders is a score then.
Is your score, right? Yeah. So an example, another thing is that each interval, the reps of the handstand push-up and echo bike decrease by 1, so it gives you a little bit more chance to get some double unders.
So in round 1, it's 16 and 16, and then 15 and 15, 14, 14.
So an example of a score would be interval 1, you finish your handstand push-ups and bike. Let's say you get 90 double unders. Then interval number 2, you finish 100 double unders. After your 15 and 15, you had a little bit less reps, had more time, you got 10 extra dubs. Now you're 110 away, and let's say on the next interval you get it, and let's say you finish 110 double unders on 850, right? That's your time, that's your score. Let's say you don't finish that, you have to go on to the next interval, then your time would be 1050 or whatever it is, and if you don't finish, it would be cap plus double unders missed. Right, so it'll be an interesting workout.
Okay, so, and everybody from Kumana listening is kind of real similar to what Elijah programs on Thursdays.
Yeah, we do a lot of intervals on Thursdays.
Really similar Thursday intervals. All right, so how's Kūlani's double unders?
We've put work in on those.
Wait a minute, how's your double unders? Have you ever done 1,000 double unders unbroken?
I've done 1,000 double unders unbroken one.
Yeah, so there you go. Fun fact for you guys listening is that Qadry has done 1,000 double unders unbroken. What was the time for that?
10 minutes and 2 seconds.
10. So, all right.
Nuts.
So, do you have any idea? Like, has anybody else done it? 1,000 double unders?
Not that I know personally, but
okay. So, what we need to do is we need to like sign you up for the Guinness Book of World Records, and there's probably some sort of double under
They're probably
Yeah.
good. Somebody at a booth today actually told me that somebody did like 7,000 or something.
I don't believe that.
I'm like-
7,000.
If it's not in the Guinness Book of I've looked on the internet, like I've like searched. I'd be like, "What's the world record on broken double unders?" And I found nothing. I haven't found anything. So I'm like,
You hold it. So basically, you hold the world
I
record.
hold the world record
You
until,
were-
until proven otherwise.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Qadry holds the record for max unbroken double unders. Oh no, for 1,000 double unders for time, or was it? Or were you trying to do max unbroken double unders?
I was doing unbroken. I didn't want to stop.
Okay, so
Like,
you
if
broke
I did
it
if
how-
I did 1,000 for time, I would like and then like rest like
Wait,
2 seconds.
So you broke it exactly 1,000.
Yeah, I went go and I didn't stop doubling until 1,000.
Well, why did you choose to break right at 1,000?
That was my goal. I set a goal for
Okay,
myself.
so-
I was like, I want to do 1,000 double unders unbroken, and
Okay, so you just said, "There I am."
Could you have done
break.
more?
Could you have done more? Yeah.
I don't know. That was really hard.
Were your calves sore the next day?
So funny story about that is the week prior I had attempted it on Instagram Live.
Yes,
And
yeah, the only-
I tripped at like 300 something, and I was like and then I was like, guys, I'm gonna try it in 10 minutes. So I rested a little bit, tried in 10 minutes. So but then I got like 830,
Yeah.
something like that, and just couldn't go anymore. And
Was it a calf thing or more?
it was my calves.
Yeah.
And my calves, I had to rest the entire week. My calves were cooked because it was like 1,200 that I did total that day.
Right.
It was just too much. But then when I redid it, the first attempt second attempt, I hit the 1,000 and then I wasn't sore.
Wow.
After the actual 1,000.
Okay, well, good. You needed that warm up set the week
Yeah,
before.
the week before.
Okay,
I
cool.
was just crippled.
So Kūlani's good in double unders,
Yeah,
and
he's looking great on those.
he's good in the echo bike.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
So
he's really good. on the echo
That's
right
that's
For
the
the
crux of
teenagers?
this workout though is the echo bike.
so this could be a game changer for him.
I
I think
I don't
so.
want to knock on wood, but it's we've tested this workout, and I'm stronger than Kūlani on double unders. I'm maybe a little faster than him on handstand push-ups. If I'm not faster, we're the same speed. He's definitely faster than me on the echo bike, no question.
Yeah.
Every single time, he's always faster than me on the echo bike.
And Kūlani's also good on handstand push-ups as
He
well.
is, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, so him and I are like comparable on handstand push-ups, comparable on dubs. He's always faster than me on echo bike. He beat me on the workout,
Right.
Okay.
right? So, and I think like my pace on dubs.
Okay, so the echo bike
That's
stronger echo bike. The stronger
Yes.
echo
It buys
bike
you more
kit.
time.
It's whoever
Yeah.
is big on the echo bike and well conditioned to not break on their dubs.
Right.
And I
Okay.
think Kūlani's echo bike is pretty strong right now,
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
so
especially for teenagers.
Especially.
the stronger echo bike Kūlani beat the double under specialist.
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
here's the thing though. Both of those things matter equally in this workout. If you're not good, which is
Kūlani's
why-
not bad at double. Like Kūlani's
Right.
good at double unders, right?
Right.
So, but it's
Which is
it's
why
the echo
it's-
bike, which is why he excelled at it.
which is why it's such a good workout.
It is, because each of those are
every
important.
part of it matters.
Yes.
You can't be bad at handstand push-ups.
Oh, yes.
Because
It's the first thing.
If you're bad at handstand push-ups, then you lose time.
Yep.
If you're bad on the echo bike, you lose time. And then obviously, if
double
you're bad-
unders, you get a bad score.
Okay,
Right.
so you guys are really happy with this test.
This
I
test
am.
is
This might be the best test.
This
of the program.
was the best program test for sure this
Mm-hmm.
year because every single part of it matters,
And it's two little guy moves, double unders and handstand push up, with a big guy move,
Yeah.
echo bike.
It's
Yeah.
not leaning too heavy into any of the movements. All of it matters.
You got to be a well conditioned, strong, powerful athlete, which is what CrossFitters are.
right, and because of the interval and because of the way that the rules are, like you have to work on that in that interval. You can't skip an interval. You have to work through it. So there's no
Yeah.
hiding in this workout.
Yeah, when I did it, I finished in the fourth interval. Kūlani finished in the third interval in practice.
Right. So there's no hiding in this workout. You gotta push.
Right.
And
Okay, good. I'm
It's-
glad to
it's-
hear
it's
that you
very
guys
good.
are happy with the test, and for everybody listening as well, you know the advantage that all these the advantage that these lifetime CrossFit kids have is just classic CrossFit. You know, so for the Subiono boys, I know historically, anytime there's something out in left field, we don't always score that well. But if it's classic CrossFit like this is, then that's where we dominate. So But yeah, but
As
it should
as we should.
yeah,
That's what we train.
because that's what we train for. Yeah.
Coming up next on Saturday and Sunday is Classic CrossFit.
Well,
Full workout.
we have.
Except for the 3-minute AMRAP. But
Yeah. Right.
Okay, what's the third workout tomorrow then?
Yeah.
then tomorrow, last workout.
Muscle
is
ups.
Muscle ups.
Ring muscle ups.
4 rounds.
Five
Five
rounds.
rounds.
5 rounds.
5 rounds of 6 ring muscle ups, 9 overhead squats at 125 for Kūlani, and 12 box jump overs.
Okay, and
So
then the
this
problem here is the overhead squat's too light.
It's
light.
it's a classic CrossFit workout.
It's too light.
The formatting is kind of
Again, back to that lazy.
kind of lazy, but it works.
In and of itself, it's not a bad test.
Right, we got the
get to
movements.
following.
But I tell you what, this is the problem they had in the 2023 CrossFit Games in Madison in the arena when Kūlani was a top contender in the 14-15 team division. Is in my opinion back then they closed out the finale that year with bar muscle ups, I think it was, and dumbbell snatch.
Dumbbell snatch,
But the problem is that, so it's the same problem with this year's workout with the overhead squat. The same problem that they had back then with this dumbbell snatch, and the dumbbell snatch was too light to be a game changer. You know what I mean? I just think it was too light. That was my opinion back then. I think about it now, and I just think that test that year wasn't that great anyway, because there wasn't any differentiators.
We've talked about this. 2023 CrossFit Games was one of the
Worst tests, yeah.
one of the-
programmed workouts.
And we can probably
Coming off of its younger brother, 2022,
and 21.
and 21, 2 great years of programming.
So in another episode, we
Yeah,
can
another
probably,
episode.
we can
We'll
dive,
dive deep
we can
into the
dive deep
programming.
into what makes a good programmed event, which tests fitness
Right.
and not just.
So
The goal shouldn't just to be.
that's event.
You know,
So that's
whatever.
event 7 tomorrow. Event 7, the overhead squat should be heavier to prove the test of fitness, right? It should
Yeah.
be if it's
and it doesn't have to be heavy. It just has to be
heavier.
It
it
just
should have at least been 135.
because
Why is-
125 is not heavy.
Yeah,
125 is light.
Yeah,
especially
so
for 9.
Let's go over the sequence against 5 rounds for time.
Yep.
6 ring muscle
muscle
ups,
up.
and then how many overhead squats?
9,
9 overhead squats at 125, and then how many box jumps?
12.
12 box jumps
Overs.
or a box jump over normal 24-inch.
Yep, step down.
Step down. Okay. Yeah, so this is an opportunity. This is a missed opportunity, I think, on the programming, because this is where you can make something at least medium heavy, at least 135.
You can make it a spectacle with it making 185, but 125 is
Yeah.
nothing new, nothing special.
So doing this workout, something that I've practiced this workout with Kūlani. Not gonna say what he did in practice, but what I liked about it.
Just in case there's spies listening.
out there, right?
Spies listening on the podcast.
But something that I liked about it was that each move felt more or less the same effort, but not the same time. That's something that,
Yeah.
right? Like
What do you mean?
the box jump over took the most time of the 3 moves, and it was the most reps.
But effort wise, it feels about the same as 6 ring muscle ups.
Right. So that's a good thing.
Balanced.
More or less. For myself doing this workout, I felt like the overhead squat was too light, and Kūlani's stronger than me.
And Kūlani's a lot, and yeah, Kūlani's
Right.
a lot stronger.
Yeah, a lot of these boys are stronger, right? So
Right.
if I'm thinking that 125, like when I picked up 125, there was no question for me that I was going to do those unbroken,
Right.
And I could like not just unbroken, but I could cycle it fast.
Right.
So for these guys, like I think a great weight, same rep scheme, 155
Yeah.
would have been a
Yeah.
spectacular. I
It didn't
part,
even have to be
part of me
185.
thinks they didn't do
So
155.
it should be a good race because everybody will go unbroken.
You have to. Yep.
Yeah.
I
that's
went
an
unbroken.
option.
At this level.
Yeah.
At this level,
At
yeah.
this level, everybody's gonna go unbroken. 6 ring muscle ups.
If you
9 overhead
break anywhere,
squats.
you've already lost.
Yeah. Okay, so it's basically who can hold their pace and go unbroken.
Yes.
So this is a perfect example of a classic CrossFit test that is all about execution.
Yeah.
All about
And
execution.
it's about keeping your rest short, your transitions and rest short, right? So like everybody walks back to the rings, and if you can minimize that time, you're ahead of people.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
good movements. Pick good movements.
It's not a bad workout.
The
It's
formatting could be better. The weight choice could have been better. The biggest issue with this workout is the workout that comes after it. Actually.
yeah. Are we gonna talk about the
Sunday?
last workout
We can
now?
talk, it's one more
It's one
workout.
Okay, so
workout.
Kūlani should be good to go on this one. I mean, he's good at ring muscle ups, the overhead squat.
He's got my wrist straps.
Yeah.
Overhead squat's light for him, and then he's tall for the box jump,
Yeah.
so he has a really good shot at this one.
Yeah.
Right.
But then the following workout,
The final workout
so
that is on
the
Sunday.
finale on Sunday.
Is
4 rounds for time.
Wait, do we know if they're gonna announce one more, or we're
Like,
sure?
this is it.
This is
Okay,
it.
so
yeah,
so they're not gonna
I'm-
announce. They are gonna do a cut. They're gonna cut down to 15 athletes.
just for the last event for the last day.
Okay, and then so what's Sunday's workout?
Sunday's workout is 4 rounds for time of 2 rope climbs with your feet, 15 feet I believe, 4 power snatches at 155, and 6 wall walks. 2, 4, 6. A little bit of a weird.
I think the wall walks go first, and before the snatch.
Oh yeah, you're right. 2, 6, 4. That's why it's weird. So it's 2 rope climbs, 6 wall walks, 4 snatches. Yeah, 2, 4, 6.
Okay, so the snatch weight is good. 155.
So I feel like we've seen that before.
So the thing about this workout is
Just 2 rounds.
4 rounds.
4 rounds. Okay. 4 rounds.
It's basically the same workout as event 7.
Yeah. The guy who wins event 7 will win event 8. Most likely, right? If you
Okay, so the guy who wins the muscle up workout is likely going to win a rope climb workout.
you just look at these
It's the same movements.
you look at these workouts and find the similarities. It's a X round for time, leading with higher level gymnastic pull,
Right.
and then you go to overhead weightlifting,
Right.
Olympic weightlifting, overhead
Right.
squat, snatch,
Yeah.
and then you've got bodyweight gymnastic move.
Right.
Very similar workouts,
Yeah.
back to back. That's not good.
Right.
that's not good, right? Like,
Yeah.
it-
And same issue with the snatches. Snatches are 155. It could have been heavier.
could have been heavier. Yeah.
Like 155 snatch is not heavy.
Yeah.
For 16, 17 boys, it's not heavy.
How many reps?
4. Which is not a lot.
Let's
That's only 16 snatches at 155.
So it's the exact same workout, just different movements, pretty much.
yeah.
Pretty much. And it's 4 rounds.
It's,
instead of
4,
5 rounds.
it's not like if it was like 2 rounds for time, that would change the
Oh,
stimulus,
right.
Right,
No, then
which
it's a
I
sprint.
would respect a little more. But they're both that medium,
Medium heavy.
10 to 15 minute work,
Right.
not even like 10 to 12 minute workout. That's
Right.
Okay, Kulani's good at rope climbs. He's tall, right?
He's pretty good.
Oh,
Kulani's
Yeah.
good at. I mean, snatch will be no trouble.
We've been working on wall walks, so
And
he's
then-
been hammering those, and
Yeah.
he's been improving a lot. Like he's come up to me and told me his numbers, and he's good to go.
Okay, so Kulani will do great on that one as well.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
let's talk about the overall scaling that is the complete dropped ball on this whole competition. The 16,
Yeah.
17,
The-
the teenage weights are too
too
light.
light in every event.
Every event. They throw back to
Okay. Actually, I'll say this.
Okay, wait. What are we talking about here? The way they scale
Compared
down.
to 35, 39.
That's what we're comparing.
Okay,
35,
so
39,
so you
16,
guys, you
17.
guys are shifting gears.
Yes.
And you guys are talking about how
This is
they
something I
have a
really
certain.
wanted to talk about.
you guys are shifting gears, talking about the difference between the masters athletes. This is the age group qualifier, guys. So for those of you guys listening, the teenagers are competing here in Columbus, but so are all of the masters
Yep.
from 35 years old all the way up to 75 plus.
Yeah,
Right.
which
So
is awesome.
70
It's awesome to
plus.
see everybody.
Yeah.
And then
That's it.
a lot of the old school CrossFitters like Scott Panchik, Sam Dancer, Con Porter.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're all competing in the Masters, 35 to 39 Masters. So what you guys are saying is that they threw out baby weights for the teenagers?
Yes,
Absolutely.
indeed. Absolutely.
Okay. So, GHD workout. So for the Masters,
That's
that's,
the worst
actually a
one. That's the
really
worst
good
one.
That's actually a good workout for the Masters because Chelsea, she did that sandbag with the same weight that Kūlani did at 150.
Yeah.
So for Masters women 150 sandbag, suddenly now that's a good test because the sandbag is an actual factor in that workout. For Kūlani 150, 16, 17 boys, 150 is
Now it's a GHD workout.
Right.
Right? So you give 130 pound Chelsea and 200 pound Kūlani the same sandbag weight
right.
and expect it to be the same stimulus?
Right.
What are we doing?
Yeah, exactly.
What are we doing? You look back at any year 2021 and earlier in the age group divisions, and 16-17 is always the same as
weight,
35 to 30.
39.
It always has been.
And it should be.
Only recently have they been scaling it down for no reason, right? Kūlani just clean and jerk 335, and you're telling me he's not strong enough to pick up a 200-pound sandbag?
Right, exactly. Now, for Chelsea's division, it was actually a struggle to actually get the sandbag off of
Which
the
is
ground.
a good thing. That's a good test.
That's what she wants. That's what the test should have been.
That's what happened at the Capitol in Madison when they did the Capitol.
Yeah.
When Julie, what's her name? No,
Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Yeah.
When Rebecca was the last one to bring that sandbag up the Capitol, and the entire CrossFit community was surrounding her.
Yeah.
Because
that should have been,
because it was a struggle.
Maybe not that heavy, but that should have been the stimulus of the workout. Where you have the GHD, and then you have the sandbag, where somebody who's was not going to be as good as or as fast on the GHD has an advantage on the sandbag because they're bigger and stronger.
Right. If you what was Chelsea's time on the sandbag? 6:30.
I want to say a little bit slower than that.
Sub
sevens.
Right. That's still a fast workout.
Right.
You still get the fast stimulus.
Right.
The boys, if they were 2 minutes slower, that's still a fast workout. It's okay to go heavier and not be a 5-minute time.
So the Scott Panchik and the men, they did a 200-pound bag?
200-pound bag.
Right.
Okay.
And it's ridiculous that they didn't have. I think not only 35-39, I think 40-44 and 45-49 had 200-pound bags. I could be wrong on 45-49, but I know 40-44 did. If Chelsea, she's 40-44.
Exactly.
She had the same weight. So when was the worst? There was one workout that I'm forgetting that it was like,
Isabel.
no, it was the bench press for us in 2022 semifinals that it was listed as 185 for the Masters and it was 135 for us, which completely changes the test.
So weight is a completely different workout.
Right. That same year, the snatch workout, they got up to 245, we got up to 185.
Right.
That was the first year.
So I ended up doing almost 30 snatches.
Right.
That shouldn't have been. That shouldn't be how the workout goes.
Right. And so it's frustrating that they're doing that, and I think that's why we're seeing it less athletes from the men specifically make the jump from 16-17 to right. So if you look at Dallin, James, Qadry Keoni, Tudor Magda, right, they're all making that jump to individual men.
Could be a possibility, yeah.
From 2022, that era, we just have time.
Right. I think I didn't even think about that as a possibility.
So you're saying the teens are being babied?
And it's being hard. It's harder for them to make it into the individual.
I'll also say that's why the leaderboard looks like the way it does now with
all kinds of unusual movement, I'd say.
Right. And I'm not saying I'll make everything 50 pounds heavier so Kūlani wins. I am, but but just for the sake of the test, the 16-17 are more than capable of doing the same weight as the 35-39 and definitely 40-44,
right,
and receiving the same stimulus.
Right.
It's not like jumping their weights up from a 150-pound bag to a 200-pound bag on less than 300 feet of carrying,
right,
or less than 400 feet of carrying is gonna impact the stimulus. They're still gonna have a fast workout, and it's actually gonna balance it out a lot better instead of it being so GHD heavy.
Right.
That's why one of my favorite things in programming is you make a workout and you program it in a way that no matter how it's scaled, everybody finishes in the same time.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? An example would be today's workout. If you're at an affiliate, right? Today's workout is Grace, but the weight isn't 135-95. The weight is let's build to a heavy clean and jerk, and everybody does 70% of what they hit.
Right.
Right? So that's a way of obviously you can't do that at the games, right? You need to have standard weights, but you can still use context clues and leaderboard clues and know their numbers enough to know that they can carry a 200-pound bag, which they have done in 2022 at the games.
Yeah, I had a
200-pound bag.
I had a 200-pound bag.
2019, 16-17 had a 200-pound bag.
Right.
2021, was it a 200? The squats was 150, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 150. But all the divisions had.
You could do that at the games. You could take the max clean and jerk weight, and then
that would suck.
and then you could surprise.
Like
You
Kūlani
could
would have
surprise
to
them.
do-
You could surprise them with 70% with the 30
Yeah.
reps. But anyway, who's programming anyway? And let's wrap this up. Who's programming? And then two parts is so is Brock and the crew programming again,
I don't
or is
know.
it a kind of a shared thing with the masters?
I think we heard that Brock had some influence, but only,
Not that much?
Only a part of it.
Okay. So yeah, the masters is a whole nother world. The teens is a separate world. Last year they competed separately in two different cities. This year they're together for the first time, other than when they used to compete at the big show with the elite men and women. So yeah, probably a shared programming. But Kūlani did say once upon a time that he would love to take over the teenage CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
That is
So-
something that we have talked about. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe one day you guys will be running the Teen CrossFit Games, and
He's making the workouts for him.
Yeah.
Yep. So as you guys can see, for those of y'all listening, you can see how passionate these guys are about programming, about competitions, not just competitions like the CrossFit Games, but every level down, and then just the fun programming in the affiliate, of course. And Elijah is currently doing our programming now at Kumana. Qadry should definitely take a season and do a quarter of programming. That would be fun.
I'll do it.
For sure. Any final remarks?
No.
I think Kūlani is good to go.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're ready for a good moving day tomorrow.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, we came off of a rough day, but I think we're gonna do good tomorrow. Turn it around.
Yeah, and I guess the last thing I would say too is I think we've made a big shift as a family, as a team, as a championship organization. Where in the past, I think that the emotional roller coaster got to the family, got to the team. I think in the past the emotional roller coaster affected the organization, our team more. I think today we all talked about it, and I think today Kūlani is more mature. He's been through three years at the games, and I think we were able to put things in perspective. And at the end of the day, CrossFit is not our idol. At the end of the day, CrossFit is such a blessing that we get to compete in. We don't idolize CrossFit, and at the end of the day, all glory goes to God. Win, lose, or draw, all glory goes to God. And this is just a stepping stone. This is just the CrossFit Games. It's just a stepping stone. But I think as athletes, if athletes can dig deep and at the same time rise above, I think they can position themselves to be in a better state, controlling their thoughts and managing their emotions. I think at the end of the day, that's what it comes down, especially for teen athletes. Adults, a whole nother ball game, but for teen athletes, I think it's all about controlling your thoughts, managing your emotions, preventing yourself from going down that negative spiral, and ultimately locking onto a higher power. So that's what we talked about today, is locking onto that higher power, locking onto what we're doing for Kūlani, for example, what he's doing, why he's doing it, and the calling and the purpose and the emotions that drive him. And I think Kūlani is at a whole nother level of maturity, especially because he's, Elijah, you've carved the path, right? You went out first. You and Kael both cleared the path. I think Kūlani gets the benefit of you guys clearing the path for him, and all of the knowledge, experience basically gets just passed right down to him. But at the end of the day, I think Kūlani last year or the year before, I think this type of day where I think it would have shook him up more,
Yeah.
And I've seen all the boys get shaken up by different things. So I think Kūlani held it together pretty good. Of course he has high expectations. We all have high expectations, but I think he held it together pretty good. Ultimately, controlling his thoughts and managing his emotions, and at the end of the day, just giving all glory to God. So, We'll call it that. Any final remarks? Otherwise, we'll go to bed.
No, that's it. Yeah.
So everybody, thanks for listening. We'll just keep this going. All right. Oh, lots of conch shells being blown. So check the videos. Check everything. Because you know what? Conch shells are going good. Everybody's getting good at blowing them, and I think we're starting to irritate the competition. So we'll close
the other parents hate us.
Which is good.
other
I want them to
families-
hate us more.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We got the Hawaiian chants going. We got the conch shell going. We got a lot of love, a lot of joy, a lot of unity going. So thank you for listening. This is episode 3 of the Kumana podcast with Elijah and Qadry and Keoni behind the camera. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Aloha.